Players, could you please take your seats and referees prepare the tables. Hello and welcome to the Predator European Youth Pool Championships, coming to you from the Therme Olimia Resort in Slovenia. The opening discipline is straight pool and we're at the semi-final stage with both under 17 and under 19 categories. Firstly, on table 4, in the under 17 division, Martin Rosa of Germany against Max Benko of Slovenia. Moving on to table 3 and the under 19s, from Lithuania, Jokavas Silantievas against Rikku Romponen of Finland. Moving on to table 2 with the under 17s, Jakub Krobot of Poland against Slovenia's Maj Badinibrec. And finally, on table 1, from Serbia, Luka Bugarski and his opponent, Felix Vogel of Germany. The races are 75 in the under 17s and 100 in the under 19s. And your referees in charge of the action: on table 1, Alexandra Balas of Romania; on table 2, Alexandra Vulovic of Serbia; on table 3, Sreko Petrovic of Bosnia-Herzegovina; and on table 4, Jalo Kotinomi of Finland. Players, please relax for the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We are back again live with this semi-finals in the under 17 category for the men, or the young men I should say. The match we'll be following this time around is none less Jakub Krobot versus Maj Badovinac from Serbia. Or is it Slovenia? Sorry, it's Slovenia actually. As you can see, it's a race to 75. Both players looking to book their place in the final. If you are interested to see who they could potentially meet in the final, well, it's the other semi-final going on in the arena between Martin Reuser from Germany and the fellow countryman of Maj Badovinac, Benko Max. Sorry, Max Benko actually. So it's only 4 players left, a lot to be played for. Of course, both of these, not both, all these 4 participants already secured a medal, but they're obviously trying to go a bit further and claim the title. As we see this break off, which was a way too thick contact, as you could see, the cue ball went very close to the side, the corner pocket. Hence, two things have happened. As you can see, the pack has opened up a lot more than he would have preferred, and also the cue ball is a bit shorter than the bottom rail, making this opening pot for Jakub a lot easier than he would have liked. So Jakub, the first player to get his semi-final on the way by scoring and making a ball. Be interesting to see how he can get his campaign running in the semi-final. And as I say that, I believe he's been very unfortunate there. It's hard to see whether he can even continue this run. But also, with the same token, maybe a little bit more safety opportunities for him because of the nudge that did not work out. He's also closed off, you know, a lot of potting chances on the left side. I do believe the 15, potentially even the 13, is potable in the top left corner pocket. Yeah, well, definitely the 15. The 13 is maybe a bit more narrow. So you can see my Badovinac having a look at the potting angle. So seems to me that he is attempting this 13. The 15 is a clearer pot, but a little bit, I would say, less chances to leave yourself a next shot. Yeah, overcut it. And unfortunately for him, as we say, when you play a shot with a safety in mind, or as it's called, a shot to nothing, usually we say the only pot you can leave is the one you're taking on, and that's exactly what has happened there. This 15 is more than doable for Jakub. He's got this 13 to the side pocket. Play position, could have played position on the 7 and the 1. I believe the 13, or it is actually in fact the 12, the pink 12 stripe, just below the, or you know, above the 5. It should be potable. There you go. And he had a nice angle to control his cue ball, so I'm not so sure whether he can run into the pack here off the 7. Maybe not, so he actually has to bend this with a little bit of left spin. Yep, he used the side spin to narrow the angle. Not 100% convinced whether this is the right moment to run into the pack from the 1 ball as he had there. He had the option, but in all honesty, he could have lost his cue ball in going to the pack. So I think he's gone the better route this way. And once he does get rid of the 2, then obviously he's got the 10 and the 14 available in the same corner pocket. This could be a case where he has to leave himself a little longer distance after the 2, because if he wants to push this one through up and down, he could potentially land awkward. So yeah, that's exactly what he's played. He's got options here, either the 10 to the bottom right or the 14 to the bottom left, whichever way he prefers. One thing is for sure though, he would need to leave himself an angle, so in this case it's the 10 to leave yourself lower on the 14, just like so. That seems to be absolutely perfect to me. So you can run into the pack here, and now you're trying to hit the 4 here. Just like that. And to be completely honest with you, I think he's not really been absolutely fortunate there. Well, you saw Jakub take a little sprint to his chair. Both players are now playing with a shot clock with a referee near the table, so he has a stopwatch in his hands, so he will be notifying the players when it's time, and when he says that, they have only 10 seconds left. So they do need to hurry every now and a while I am glad to say that we also have a separate team member of ours updating the scores live. So when you are tuning in and you see 11, which now should turn into 12 in favor of Jakub shortly, you are actually seeing the most recent scoreline rather than having to figure out on what type of run either of the players are. That being said, though, you can ever so slightly see the marking of the triangle there. So when he pots this 4, unless he can slightly develop the 5, which he couldn't, so much so he's even missed the 4 there. Well, now you know the 4 is cleared of the triangle area. So here my Badovinac will have a chance to start off his campaign in the semi-final. He needs to leave himself, of course, not as close to the rail as now, a high angle on the 4 to come off the rail into the pack. And this seems to be absolutely perfect to me. So the referee will re-rack the balls for the players here. My Badovinac with a nice chance here to continue this run. As you see in the overview, the other semi-final, and I believe this is for the under 19 category. Felix Vogel against Luka Bugarsic. Felix Vogel there at the table. Very talented youngster from Germany. He is also one of the guys to keep our eye out for, because from what I've seen from him so far, he seems to have a very promising future. But actually that's something that goes for all the remaining semi-finalists. You don't get to play a semi-final in a European Championships by being average. Unfortunately though, my let slip of that opportunity, failed to pot the 4, and as you can see, bitterly disappointed his opponent back to the table. Jakub could use the angle on the 1 to run into the 5 here. Just a gentle nudge should leave it. Yeah, that's a perfect way to disturb the 5. Use the top rail there. Always knew that he could control his cue ball a lot better there. Yeah, in this case, actually taking the 4 first is a wiser option. I thought he could leave himself a little bit more angle than the 3 to just run into the 10. You know, if this on the side of the pack there, you know, you'd be very unfortunate not to have a shot after going into the pack. You could still power this one in and try to develop the pack. Doesn't have to if he feels like he's taking a bit more risk. Yep, the angle was a bit thicker, but of course in doing so now he's running a little bit more out of options to disturb the pack. He's been very unfortunate there indeed, Jakub. Hard to see what he can do from this position. Yeah, so he's trying to figure out where to play safe. Yeah, if that cue ball bounces enough. Look, at the very least, his opponent has to produce a difficult pot here. I do believe the 10 is potable in the bottom left corner pocket, or even the bottom right, whichever pocket he prefers. It's one of those, if you fully commit and you make the shot, you should be able to continue this run. It is a chance. Well, I have to say I'm a little bit surprised that he did not go for the attacking option there. Tried to play safe. He did reasonably well. If the cue ball was glued to the rail, this 13 long pot would be a lot more difficult. But now there is a chance here. Well, you saw it, got very close indeed. I suppose Jakub knew that he would run into the pack, and that in itself made it a little bit more difficult. Got very close there. Yeah, well, he played a little nudge on the 7 there, and arguably maybe tried to develop the 7 into a nice comfortable breaking option, but now it's stayed in the triangle, so decision making time here for my Badovinac. He could use the 7 to run into the 10. That's exactly the angle that he's looking at. The only problem with that shot is you're never guaranteed how you leave your next pot. Nevertheless, I do believe it's the right shot from this angle. So, two things here. You also need to make sure you don't overhit it. And now, I don't know whether he can pot this 12 and draw his cue ball back all the way across the table. If he can just leave himself some sort of an angle on the 10, I mean, that would be the ideal breaking shot there. I think that shot is possibly not on, but the only problem I had with the other option is, let's forget about the difficulty of the pot. Where the cue ball landed here on the 12, he would still have no angle to develop the pack. So that's the only reason I thought maybe he could draw it back. This is okay. You can use the side rail, even possibly, which is unlikely, but he could even use 2 rails to go into the pack. I think he's okay, alright, you know. Yep, this one does go into the side pocket. Again, they are very close, but he needs to make sure he can generate enough spin here in his cue ball to let it come away from the pack. Yeah, forward seems to be the right path, just like that. Didn't overhit it. just try to make sure that he would leave himself a pot on the 6. Now coming around to have a look what potentially pots in the top left corner pocket, maybe the 15, which is below the 10. I think that should just pot in the top left corner pocket. Yes, it does. That's also the position he's played for. Hard to see where he can continue this run. Maybe the 8 pots in the middle? I don't think he's playing attack here. Yeah, just a safety. Played a good safety there. 8 up in the middle of the table. Well, past the middle line, of course, I should say. Cue ball close enough, so it's gonna be a safety battle here. And I don't know whether the 10 does pot in the bottom right corner pocket. Not only that, I believe the 13 and the 4 is also looking like a combination. Yep, that's the shot he took on. Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate if you're sitting in a chair of Badovinac. But maybe there's an argument to say a little careless also, because that's the thing with straight pool. It is worthwhile looking at the pack, studying the pack every once in a while, because these things do happen. You sometimes leave a 3-4 ball combination. When you get back to your chair and you see your opponent take it on, you feel disappointed, to say the least, that you did not spot that combination. With the same token, we could also say nicely spotted by Jakub. To develop the 11 and the 14. Nicely played. Always knew that he'd have the 3 in the side pocket. Trying to get rid of the traffic here at the left side of the table. So that 13 is a little bit of a hindrance there for him. It was a nicely shot, just a little bit short on the 13. Played a two-way shot there. Yeah, like cue ball he needed to stop. Now he's left himself a very tricky pot, so much so that he's refusing to pot this 13. I think that is the better option. But that cue ball needs to run for him to continue this. I mean, he's got the slightest of angles. He could still continue the run by running into the pack, but this is a very missable shot because you need to implement a lot of spin and power. Yeah, I already put it out there that it was not completely unmissable. Whenever you have a slight angle on a pot and you have to power it in, it also diminishes the the chance for the pocket to accept it. That's exactly what happened there. Needs to be careful to not leave this 10, and I think Jakub can see the putting angle here on the 10, so a little bit surprised to see where he's placed his cue ball. That's not worked out favorable for Jakub, unless he plays a very advantageous and a super attacking shot. Yeah, it's safety is the order of the day here, and that's nicely done. See, every once in a while where Jakub was forced to play safe, he's made sure that he did not leave his opponent a putting chance. But the same cannot be said with even here. I mean, yes, sure, Jakub would need the extension, or the bridge as we call it, but he has a chance to putt this 13, you know. Yep. Not interested in the pot. Again, using the pack to close off any putting directions. As always, if you're just joined us, welcome. We have 2 tables on the live stream, completely free on the YouTube channel. Go to ProBilliardTV. Of course, if you're hearing this, I presume you're already watching this on YouTube. On the other table, I have my dear friend Graham Heckman doing the commentary in the semi-final match under the 19 between Felix Vogel against... I just have a quick look before I mess this name up. Let's have a quick look. I'll get back to you shortly. I just want to give you a score update on the other semi-final under the 17 European Championships, as we are following this match. It's the countryman of Badovinac, Benko Max, who is now taking a lead against Martin Reuser from Germany. On table 1 we got Bugarski playing against Felix Vogel from Germany. So that's the other match you can find on the YouTube live stream, completely free, provided by my dear friend Graham Hickman. That is a different category of course. This is the under 17, that's the under 19 European Championships, so they will be playing a race to 100 as opposed to the race to 75 as we are watching in this match. Again, you could definitely consider this safe because there's a lot of pressure for Jakub. If he takes on this 13, you could say he has to make this, because otherwise he will always leave an opening shot. But that's been the most notable difference between the two players when they play safe. My Badovinac has always left Jakub in with a pot, and you can see these guys are very talented putters as well. Made that beautiful long putt, and now back at the table with another chance to increase his lead. I don't know whether Jakub has enough angle to putt this 15 and let his cue ball run into the pack there, because he would always have the 4. Yep, it was not enough. And at first glance, it doesn't look like there is some sort of a 3 or 4 ball combination on. Off 2 rails, nice angle, nice path. You could say he's a little bit unfortunate not to have left himself an easier shot after that. Couple of options here for Jakub. Put the 8 in the middle. Not it. Oh, it went for the long putt. I could only presume there's a pathway towards the 2 there. Yes, there is. So yeah, that makes sense. Just play the stop shot, execute it perfectly. And now he's back in the middle of the table where he's got several options. First glance, particularly for him taking the 6 here, the 9 seems to be a nice breaking ball. Alternatively, you could also use the 1 if he prefers that one. So by putting this 11, he takes away a lot of congestion on that side. Well, now going for the 1 does tell me that he is planning to use the 9 as the breaking ball. Just a matter of getting a nice angle here on the 5 to let his cue ball go naturally down the table from this point of camera angle. Not a lot to do with his cue ball here. This is a pretty straightforward small draw, let's say stun shot. Cue ball towards the center line of the table, just like that. And he should be able to carry on this run. And as you can see, and if you've just joined us, welcome. We do have one of our dear colleagues in the arena updating the score, so it is in fact 51-5. So Jakub confidently going ever so closely to the finishing line, which is 75, where he should meet the winner of the other semi-final in this European under 17 championships for the boys. It is the fellow countryman of my Badovinac, Max Benko, that is taking the lead in that semi-final. He's up 41-14 against Martin Reuser from Germany. As we turn our attention back to this opening shot, nicely done by Jakub. Good control in his cue ball. He's got options here. I'm not so sure if he can get to the putting angle of the 7. If he can, well, he's not interested, or it seemed like that. As you can see, the 6 and the 8 is a very comfortable combination. He's always got that to his availability there. He could try and leave himself an angle on the 5. Doesn't have to take this. He's got multiple options here. You can play gentle position on the 5, or you can play this a bit firmer and try to run into the rack. As it turned out, he's played position on the 3. was a little bit limited with his positional options, as he was very straight on that 3. So this time around it feels like it's inevitable for him to run into the pack with his cue ball. Should be okay as long as he can pot this 10 and yeah, it's hard for him not to leave himself a shot after this. Yeah, pot the 10, he's always got the 1 there. Now there is a chance where if he can draw his cue ball here, you could develop the 2 in a nice breaking ball. Yep, look at that. That's worked out beautiful for him. The 2 now, all of a sudden, is a very favorable ball for him to try and continue the run. Again, the current scoreline is the updated scoreline, so he's only 25 balls away to book his place in the final. So this is looking really strong for the young Polish player. That it was a little slip up. I do believe he tried to run into the 14 and the 13 there. So he'll get another chance here. But now, of course, if he fails to let himself a pot, which has happened, that's the problem. See, he could potentially continue this run by playing a very tough combination on the 13 and the 14, but 2 shots ago he tried to nudge the 14, and when he missed contact, all of a sudden now, when you are limited with your potting options after that, if you don't get the cannon right, now you're relying on a bit of luck. And first glance, this has not worked out bad for him. If anything, I should say a very good shot, and with a chance to pot this 13, leave yourself an angle on the 2. If you have too much angle, maybe you should consider to leave yourself a longer distance. And well, he spotted it and it's landed in the worst possible place. I don't know whether he can now continue this run, because it seems like he's dead straight on the 2. So it's very tough to see how he can continue this run. I guess we'll shortly find out as the referee just re-racks the balls again. Yeah, you could see he had no options other than just pot the extra ball and accept that he could not continue his run. Needless to say, with a very commanding league now. He's got his opponent with his back against the wall firmly, and this time he does cover up a putting opportunity for Jakub, or has he? Because he is looking at this 8. Don't know whether it's, well, it seems to me that it is possible in the side, or is it possible in the top bottom right corner pocket? And if that is the case, there, oh no, it's in the middle pocket. And what kind of angle has he left himself? Not a lot to work with. Don't know whether he can get his cue ball into the pack. No is the answer. So this already feels like the last chance for my Badovinac, because not a lot of balls to be potted for Jakub to book his place in the final. So these are the type of situations you've practiced all your life for, is to be able to respond when the pressure is on. Of course, this cannot be considered a great chance because the table is closed, as you can see, the pack. But it does not help if you miss your opening pot by such a margin. That indicates that he's not really involved in this match, and that is also credit to Jakub, of course, who has been playing really solid stuff. Just another safety coming up. He could push his cue ball to the bottom end of the table because all these balls at the left side seem to be covering one another to be puttable in the top left corner pocket. Top left corner pocket. Yeah, so trying to play safe, or is he playing a combination? Yeah, he was. He called the 14. That is a excellent shot. Very aggressive. He called it. Did point the tip of his cue to that corner. So as you can see, he's continuing, and now all of a sudden just needs 7 more balls to book his place in the final. They don't look as a complete roadmap, as we call it in pool terms. Needs to place a couple of more good positional shots just to get over the line here. Yeah, the 5 and a 4, a combination. That is a slight error there from Jakub. See, now he needs to play a good shot if he wants to run out the match from this opportunity. Well, it's called a bank on the 5. This is pretty much match ball. Yeah, that's a great shot. Fabulous putt. Chose the attack in option there. Only needs 3 balls, of course. And if he puts the 7 and nudges the 1, he's pretty much home and dry because he's not gonna miss the 15 after this. He doesn't have to play the nudge on the 1, of course. He's got the 3, the 13, so a lot of options for him here. Just 2 putts away to book his place in the final, and has to be said, seems like he's in a bit of hurry because this match started just 10 past 11, 40 minutes in, and it seems like very likely we will see this young man, Jakub Hrobot, back in the final. There you have it. What a strong display by Jakub Hrobot, one of the young Polish talents. Books his place in the final, where he will meet the winner of the match between Max Benko and Martin Reuser. My name is Arya Sorabi. Thank you for watching, and we will be back with the final shortly.
Chubas, come on. Come on, man. On the left, please.
Good afternoon, and we're back at the Predator European Youth Championships here in sunny Slovenia. It's the finals of the straight pool division. Firstly, on table 2, with the under-17s, introducing from Poland, Jakub Robot. And his opponent this afternoon, from Slovenia, Max Benko. And moving on to table 1, it's the under-19 gold medal match. Will you welcome Lithuania's Jokubas Silančievas and his opponent this afternoon from Germany, Felix Vogel. It's a race to 75 in the under-17 match and a race to 100 for the under-19s. Your referees in charge of the action on table 2 from Croatia, Alan Bujak, and on table 1 from Austria, Florian Rettenbacher. Gentlemen, please lag for the break.
Hello and welcome to the Predator Youth Championships. We have the final of the under-17 14-1 division between Jakub Šrobo and Max Benko. Šrobo from Poland, Benko from hometown favorite from Slovenia. Looking forward to a good one here. It's a race to 75. Benko's coming in with a small edge in Fargo, coming in at 729. Šrobo's coming in at 704. Haven't ever done a match with Benko involved, but I know he has won a Predator Junior Matchroom Tournament, which are some of the toughest tournaments in the world to win for juniors. Šrobo is a former semi-finalist in the Predator World Junior 10-ball championships. And he's improved about 30 Fargo points in the past 6 months, so I remember commentating on a match with him and thinking that he had a lot of talent, looked a little raw at that time, but to improve that many points in that little amount of time, I'm not surprised because he's a very talented player. So looking forward to a good one here. Benko wins the leg. Nice to see some hometown players doing well. This is day 6 here in Slovenia. Previously had the Predator Euro Tour, won by Marko Spitsky and Mario He in the final. A little bit light on the break here, so Šrobo's gonna have the first chance. Typical long opener off the breaking straight pool. Not too much open besides the 1. See if we can develop something going to the right here. Looks like the cue ball is going to play to the right of the 8th, which is not ideal, but could develop something on the 14. Could even try to draw the ball a little bit and play the 14 in the top right. Nice shot. He's going to be able to go into the 8-13 here. Not really much available, so he's going to want to land on the 8 of the 13 after running into them. Just overdrawn a little bit. Looks like Šrobo's going to be on a safe here, but defended well off the break. came out with a good opening pot. And he'll be able to put Benko in a safe spot here. Nicely played. Very tough cueing if Benko wants to get up to 13. Would be the ball it's easiest to play safe on, but the bridging is just horribly bad. Have to bridge over about 5 balls in the middle of the stack there, so he is going to go off the 9, try to get in line with the 13. Nice play. 62 players started this tournament, so both players definitely strong and well versed with all the little moves that come along with playing straight pool. Watch out for the side here. Tough one, sharp one. It's got some distance, but he will be trying it directly in the side. Cue ball's going to play off into the 6-9 area. No guarantee on developments there, but he'll have to attempt it. Could get aggressive and try to avoid the 6-8 and come around 3 rails. In fact, I think he will. No real guarantee if he runs into either of those 2 balls. And to decide to go into him. So 2 balls loose from the stack now, the 6 and the 8. Can't really play the cue ball up table. Too hard to guard against either of those balls if he does, so he'll be staying down at the racking end here. Nice shot. Sherbo looks a little bit more in control here to me. He's lengthened his stroke out a little bit, improved his timing a little, hitting the ball a little more smoothly. As expected, coming from a country like Poland, ton of good coaching over there. I'm sure they've touted him as a player with talent and are focusing on developing him. Knowledgeable safe play going on here in rack number 1 from both players. Always tough when you have to cover 10 balls or more. Makes it a little easier when a lot of them are tied up in a stack, but still maneuvering the cue ball around well, not really leaving anything overly easy. Players can always look for some kind of combo out of the stack. Doesn't look like there's anything available. So really just trying to keep the balls as close together as they can, while still not leaving a shot on the 3 open balls. Kind of 6, 8, 9 more than the rest. So it's not bad, but he has left a shot at the 9 here. Benko's going to be kind of running into the 6 off the short rail. Could play a real advanced power follow and kind of bend the cue ball around the 6. But the pocketing on the 9's not straightforward, so I think he'll just choose to run into it. Hopefully get a shot. Did get around it. Nice shot. Gonna have the first breakout opportunity here. It's a little bit below the stack. It's a little bit tough to draw the cue ball enough and get into the 4. If he follows the cue ball, he's not going to hit the stack. So I think it's going to see a big power draw shot coming up here. Nice play. Got some separation now on the 4. Can play the cue ball onto the 10. Gonna take some elevation, so missable shot coming up here for Benko, but if it goes well, he should be a favorite to make some good headway through rack number 1. Yeah, didn't have to elevate, made things a little easier. Nicely into the side of the stack and getting some separation now. 11's available in the right middle. See, Benko is just kind of pumped up a little bit, moving around quickly. Junior players will tend to play on the quicker side. A lot of energy, a lot of self-belief and natural ability. Don't have the battle scars of players that are in their 30s. Can be a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, you know, when players are playing quickly and things are going well, it's a very ominous type of style. But sometimes they can make simpler mistakes just for lack of taking the exact care needed on each shot. Kind of like this. I mean, he's still on the 2, but he was trying to get on the 5 there. 12's going to be a good breakout ball. If he can get into the 8 in the left middle, that'll play well for the 10 and the 15. Got to make sure he doesn't disturb the 12 too much here. It is in a good spot to use as the key ball for the breakout ball. Yeah, 5 will be okay for the breakout too. Wants to be straight on the 8 here. I believe he is. Nice shot from Benko.
10.
Oh, very small cue ball movement. Oh yeah, he's going a little to the left, so he's got to take the 10. He'll be wanting to be drawing to the right off the 8 here. Straight back will be okay as well. Looks happy with the angle. So 8, 15, 5, last 3 balls here. Just a little thin where he's going to have to feather this one in real pocket speed. Always the option to come up and down. He'll favor the slow speed here. Made the line a little longer by playing with a bunch of right. Nice shot. No real mistakes there in the first rack. Trabo just playing. Benko had Trabo in a tough spot on the short rail with lots of distance. Tried to play a thin one, just barely left the 9, and Benko took full advantage.
5 ball, right corner.
Ideal breakout angle here for Benko. A little bit of distance between the cue ball and the object ball, so have to focus on the pocketing. But you can get into the proper part of the rack here. Should get good separation off this one.
Time. I did.
Nice shot. Cue ball's at probably the furthest distance possible from any of the remaining balls, but he can go at the 11.
Extension.
Extension.
Eleven.
11 ball, corner pocket.
And this has ended up kind of funny. 2 balls still available to the bottom right.
2 ball.
Not much else. 13 in the left middle if he wants it. Looks like he's actually considering it. Kind of favor the 2 here. Looking at both balls.
Time.
Oh, he's got the cue ball in a good spot now. Little too much angle on the 12.
10 ball, corner pocket.
But he's okay on the 10. He can start with some small cue ball movement here over the next 5 shots. Max has been pretty dominant over the course of the tournament. 75 to 25 win in the quarterfinals, 75 to 14 win in the semifinals, 75-48 in the last 16.
Let's go.
Triple, 75-25 in the last 16, 75-40 in the semifinals,
14.
and 75-5 in the semifinals. Must have had a decently high run there. Benko's on about 15 currently here. Looking possible to get through this rack.
Nine ball, side ball.
12 ball would be the most ideal breakout ball on the table. You can start thinking about it now. The 3-13-9 area is a little tricky. We want to address that as soon as possible. He goes after the 9. Gonna open up the 3 here. Nice shot. Not ideal, but he still is on the 15.
15.
15 ball, corner pocket. Time.
Playing with good pace here. Playing all the correct shots too. It's one thing to play straight pool real quick and just be scrambling all over the table, but good intuition, recognizing the shots quickly here. It's gonna take the 12, so the breakout's gonna be a little tougher.
Miško.
Few options for the breakout ball now. 3 or the 6, 3, 6, or 8. Seem pretty good to me. big key in straight pool is not only just picking out the ball that's best for the breakout, but also picking out another ball that you're not going to move the cue ball very far, so you can kind of guarantee that you're going to get that breakout angle. Looks like Benko's thinking about a 7-3-6-8 pattern here. 8 is available right now. There'll be a lot of cue ball movement if he does choose that path. A little light on position here. Still could, I think he was trying to go 3-7 there, but this might be the path he was taking. So the 3 leads pretty good into the 6. Strong rack here from Benko. He's on about a 20, he's going to be on a 26 ball run going into rack number 3 now. Would assume both these players have 100 ball runs under their belt. I think this can be said about all pool games, but when they're played well, they look easy. I'd say straight pool is probably the game that's most true of. Looks easy because you're not making real extravagant pots or really moving the cue ball a lot for position, but the planning required to put together big runs is definitely underrated.
Six ball. Corner pocket.
Bo's going to try to play into the 10-15 side of the rack here. Just kind of chip off the edge, open up 3 or 4. Too risky to really power draw the cue ball into the 3. Too much chance of the cue ball getting stuck in the rack. Nice shot. Got a bunch of balls out of the rack there, even while hitting the side of the rack. Very nice. 2 and the 4 and even the 11 play okay to open up the rest of the rack. See, Benko's mind is just buzzing here. Moves quickly around the table. Gets set nicely when he's actually down on the shot.
2 ball. Left corner.
Almost Josh Filler reminiscent here. And again, when you're playing quick like this, it kind of just shifts natural pressure onto your opponent quick and well. Little unlucky here with the spread on the last breakout. Looks like he has the 10 with an overball bridge. 5 is available, sharper than he'd like in the side, but possible if he wants to avoid bridging over the 10.
Time.
Extension.
Extension.
It's okay to take the 10 here. You don't have to do much with the cue ball. Only
5.
negative might be the cue ball's kind of running into the 15 and could get stuck right onto the 15. Looks like he is going to back off though and possibly play the 5. He's in between shots right now. Nice shot. Good recovery. Nothing Shrabo can do but sit in his chair. Almost halfway to the total now.
13.
13 ball. Corner pocket.
11-9-3 are going to have to be developed. 7-10 are lying a little awkward as well. Could get into the 3-9 area off the 14. It's going to want to develop both those areas pretty quickly. I was thinking the 7 or the 10 might go in the right middle, and they do. That was a smart shot there. Three can be available once the 8 goes, but he'll still have the problem with the 11-9. And I think ideally trying to get into that 3-ball stack and develop one of them as a breakout ball. Gonna leave it for a couple shots down the road. Got to be careful here because, again, he doesn't have a real solid breakout ball. Could use the 14, but he'd want something closer to the stack, ideally. Bounces around the table, gets to all the angles he needs real quickly. It's kind of the mark of a player that's excited to shoot, which is a good thing.
$40.
14 ball. Corner pocket.
Wants an angle here where he can run into the 9. That's a great shot. Cue ball is running into the 9 now. Ideally, if he can clip the top, kind of the right side of the 9 and push the 11 just slightly forward and still be on the 9, that play would work well. It's gonna be okay. Cue ball's kind of running into the 11 off 2 rails here.
9 ball. Left corner.
Gonna look for ways to not run into it.
Time. I did.
Good shot. 40-ball run now for Benko. He's not going to have huge energy going into the rack here, but he can get about 70% max energy. Always got to be careful on the pocketing when you're hitting a ball at such high speed. The 11's reasonably close to the corner, so he should be okay here.
$11.
11 ball. Corner pocket.
Oh, got stuck in the rack, and it's going to be run over, but great effort from Benko so far. Still be ways to play safe here.
Frozen to the wall.
out for the corner here.
Foul.
He's down. So chance for Schrabeau to reply now. About 5 balls separated from the original ranking area. The 14 can play well to open up the rest of them. 12-14 would be a good starting progression here. Too far for the 14, but that's the 10 below the stack there. But he'll be able to get on it now, and he is on it nicely. Going to be able to create a lot of energy going into the rack here. Going to take one more before getting at the 10. Yeah, Schrabeau is definitely more polished than the last time I've seen him. Again, lengthening his stroke out a little, improving his timing. You can see him developing into a world-class player now. Very nice. Six and the 2 are close together, but the 2 is available in the top left. Not much as far as ideal breakout balls yet. Kind of tough to push anything into the perfect spot. See what he has in mind here. Oh, just left it up a little thick. Seeing the prowess that Benko had, he could make it a 2-inning offensive charge here.
2 ball.
2 balls. Left corner.
If you can get on the 4 on the side and run into the 6 and kind of push it to the left a little bit, that'd be ideal for a breakout. A little risky on wanting to play the 4
Corner pocket.
into the side when it's that far away from the side pocket, so might look for other options. Yeah, it's going to start getting in tough for a breakout ball now.
9.
9 ball. Corner pocket.
Four.
4 ball. Nice
Extension.
corner. Extension.
Cue ball's definitely running into the 6 here. Could try to play something really advanced and play it at a speed where it comes off the short rail and then back into good breakout position. Not really much risk in that shot. Should get on the 3 regardless. See if he recognizes it. Not bad. Can go 3-6 here. Leave himself as much angle on the 6 without involving the stack. He's just looking at exactly where he needs to be there. Anytime you're hitting a rail and then going into the stack for the breakout, the rail's going to take a decent amount of energy out of the cue ball, so you want as much angle as possible. Looks like he's going to be okay here. Two full racks required for Benko to get the win now. Lots going to hinge on how this first breakout shot works. Can go badly. But he does have enough angle to create a decent amount of energy. See in the bottom right of your screen, Felix Vogel in the under-19 boys final. Had a close one in his final 16 match. The player from Austria. So he had 35 balls in that match. Austrian player got it to within 3. But Vogel responded nicely and had a 25 ball run at the end of the match. Really the class of the under 19 field. Rico Rompinen also in the under 19 field. Made it to the semifinals. Yeah, whenever you're playing a ball with that much speed, especially along the rail, can be dangerous. He knew he had to ramp up the speed there. Took a half gamble, spread the rack nicely, but just didn't make the 6. So another chance for Chabot here. Yeah, if you were to go back to the Predator Pro Billiard Series when he was in the semifinals, you're looking at a completely different player. Semifinals of the World Championships, you're looking at a completely different player, much more polished, much better stroke pace. Getting a little reminiscent of his countryman Daniel Maciel as far as how he's moving his stroke. Possibly being coached or helped out by Daniel. Both players playing pretty quickly, sure of themselves. Again, beautiful timing there. Playing for the 9 here. He's overhit it, and he's ended up with nothing. Can play safe up table with the cue ball, but really needs these 20 plus runs to get back in the match. Underneath the stack will work here too. Biggest ball he has to guard against is the 9.
Time.
I think creating distance is the safest play here. A smart shot as well. No combos available going to the top left. Can thin off the right edge of the 8 and play down to the short rail. Could possibly leave the 1 in that case, but I think he'll be okay to cover it with the 9. Ooh, some mistaken safe play here. Good chance for Chabot now on the 9. Nicely played. Got an angle going to the right now. We can develop, ideally get into the 13 and start moving the 12 or the 8.
Four ball. Left
This
corner.
plays well as well. 10's going to the right off the 4. Not going to have a ton of energy going into the 13, but he can draw back for the 8 and start developing that area. Works too. It's on the 10. Just looking to see if he's on the 8. If he is, he can play position back to the 10 and then open up the last 3 balls. Try to get into them there, just not quite enough left spin. And get a little dicey in these last 3 balls now for Chabot. Gonna say it looks like the 14 doesn't go. There's the distance safe here. He's covered all pocketing angles.
14.
14 ball. Left
I
corner.
haven't seen too many games like this where players are playing safe around the last 3 balls. Looks like Benko's considering the combo on the 14. It is there.
Extension.
A big spot in the match here. Not only making the 14, but seeing what the end result is going to be, only having 2 balls left and needing to get on one of them and needing to develop a breakout scenario within 2 shots. Got the combo, but didn't get the result on the 12 or the 13.
13.
Going to be some interesting play over these next few shots.
Right corner.
Both players going to be looking for a way to hold their opponent at bay, but also when they get into an offensive position, it's going to be tough to get the exact breakout angle they want. It's the interesting, that's a great shot there. It's the interesting tactical part of straight pool here. Like just thinning off the left side here. Kind of stopping the momentum of the 13 with the 12, bringing the cue ball back up table.
Time.
Nice shot. Tough spot here for Chabot. Can do something similar, cutting the 12 into the 13. Biggest risk there is it contacts the 13 with a little too much speed or a little too thickly. The 13 could play over the top left.
Time. Foul ball. Corner pocket.
He's called the bank. And he's got it. What a shot. Not going to be okay on the breakout, but
Time out.
try to get himself back in the match there. Benko's going to go for a short break here. Fast and furious action so far. Only about half an hour in. 70 points scored. Really nothing offensive for Shrabo here. He's just too thin, too low percentage to cut the 13 in. Look at that breakout attempt from Silvantievas over on table number 1. Tough one, almost got into the stack there. Still 6 more days of junior pool to come here from the European Youth Championships. Girls will be in action starting today. 8-ball and 9-ball divisions still coming up. That's a bit of an errant safe there from Silvantievas, and look for Vogel to go possibly on a big run here. Still has to develop a lot of this rack, but he's a very dangerous player, capable of making 50-plus runs at any chance of the table. Got down to the end of his shot clock there. Had to get over to the shot quickly. Players are on a 30-second shot clock. 1 extension per rack. Just wanted to save that extension privilege for later in the rack in case ran into something that was a little complicated. And Vogel's into the breakout stage. Can't quite tell if he's finished on something, but we'll be back over to table 2 here. Benko back from his break. Nice play by Shrabo. Good containment here. Really nice to see all these juniors playing at such a high level. I mean, you can just tell the future the game has in store for them, the way they hit the ball. Not just in results, pulling, for example, Benko having a 40-ball run here in the final, but also the fundamentals and quality of how they're striking the ball. You can just tell they have bright futures ahead of them. If Benko can bank this 5 past the 6 here, he could stick the cue ball in the corner of the rack. Ooh, that's trouble. Just left the 5. Only 1 ball to develop the breakout now. The 13. It's not really in an ideal spot. Don't believe the 9-4 combo's on, so gonna have to look for something off the 13 here. Pretty straight. Yeah, this only chance there was some kind of big power draw. Didn't have quite enough angle going into the left. Tough spot to really go on a big offensive charge there. So he'll be resigned to playing safe here. Something thin off the rack should do. Great shot. Barely disturbing any balls there. Can't quite tell if he's left the 6 underneath the stack. I think he might be okay.
Six.
6 ball. Right corner.
Extension.
Extension.
Well, the 6 might be there. It is, for sure. Tricky part about this is, for Benko, is he's going to have to play the 6 or the cue ball with a bunch of right spin to get into the stack. Especially when you're cueing off the rail. That's a lot of difficulty.
9.
9 ball. Side
Oh,
pocket.
look at this. Look at this shot that he's picked out here. The 4-9 combo on the side. Good spot there from Benko. Typically, you'd be looking at combos going into the corner, but he was able to spot one on the side, and he can get into the rack here. Just gotta hope he doesn't catch some unwanted throw from the 4 to the 9, but I think they're good distance away from each other, that he should be able to
9.
get the 9 down here. Yeah, must have threw on him. Decided to take the offensive route there. You know, anytime there's the balls are, say, about 1/8 of an inch away from each other, they can kind of create odd collisions and throw off line to that. For example, that ball looked pretty good into the pocket, but when you start coming at a cut angle, just kind of throws the comboing angle a little different than what it looks sometimes. So good chance for Shrabo now. Two ball lies well for the breakout ball. Should be able to hold the 1 near the 7 here. Doesn't want the 1 to drop. It's okay there. 11 plays onto the area where the cue ball needs to be for the 12-14. Shrinking the lead now. Gonna have 4 more balls in this rack, so should be within 13. Gotta make sure you come up high enough above the 2 here. Oh, it could be a little short. It is. I think he's completely straight where he's not going to be able to manufacture any angle going to the left. Yeah, too straight on this. Could get real aggressive and try to run the cue ball 2 rails towards the rack, but the cue ball will have so little energy in that case. It might be worth it. I don't think anything real negative can happen. Have to cheat the pretty extreme left part of the pocket on that shot. Kind of coming into the 14 side of the rack. Nicely played. Might be on the 8. He is. So chance to keep the run going here for Shrabo. Ooh, I like the 8 here because the 9 plays well into a breakout if he takes the 8 first. He might not have the 8 though. So good shot. See if the 3 is makeable on the top right. If it is, he can get into creating some more separation in the stack. Bunch of right spin, try to get into it there. Are there any combos available? I don't believe the 3 is available anymore. Yeah, just getting a little straight on the 2 there. Had a chance to go forward in the run out. Just didn't get enough initial separation. So back to Benko here now, and it should be a 3 or 4 inning safe exchange. Out for the 13. It's going to come out too much. And Benko can get on the 3. Half chance here. Wants to leave himself a pretty heavy angle on the 3 so he can get enough energy coming off the left long rail.
Extension.
There is an option to get inside it, lay the cue ball right on the left long rail and just go to the right, directly to the right off the 3. Wow, went into it immediately. Yeah, I mean, the breakout angles off the 3 were never going to be ideal, so I don't mind that play. But just with the amount of energy you're going into the rack, there was always a chance to get stuck, and that's what ended up happening. Gonna try to bank the 3 back into the stack now. Nice shot. Cue ball nice and tight to the rail, safe on all 12 remaining balls now.
Time.
Nicely played. Doesn't want to leave the 14. It's going to be close.
14.
14 ball.
It's
Left.
real close. First intuition is it doesn't go. Take a look at his body language here. See if he has any tells about whether he's going to play offense.
Time.
He's looking at the pocketing angle for the 14, so I guess he's just, well, he has to swerve it. Nice shot from Benko. couldn't really control the cue ball there after swerving it, but he is on the 15.
11 corner.
11 ball, corner pocket.
Cue ball can play into the 7 or 10 next. Might even be on the 11.
Side pocket 15.
15 ball, side pocket.
That's it.
Nice shot from Beno, and he's going to have a chance to get back into the stack here. Ideally would not want the 10 to be there. Might try to play to the right of the 10 just slightly.
7.
7 ball, corner pocket.
Does he have any angle going to the left off the 10 to just shoot the 10 first? Doesn't look like it, so he's going to go 7. Try to get to the right of the 10 here. Nice shot. He's on the 12, as long as the 5 doesn't get him.
Eleven.
11 ball, side pocket.
Yeah, the 5 did get him on the 12, so he's going to have to go 11 here. Looks like he's going to use the 3 to start creating some more separation.
3 ball, corner pocket.
Getting decently close to the finish line now. 7 balls left in this rack. That'll bring him to 60. So if he's able to get one more full rack down after this one, that'll be the finish line.
1.
So looks like he's on the 1 here, but maybe not, judging by his body language, and he knows that he might have to play another small little half swerve here. That'd be 2 swerve shots in 1 rack. If he doesn't like it, he has the bank on the 4.
Time.
Either way, a couple outside the box options here. Nice play. Just threw that ball in with a bunch of right spin. 6 ball's going to play okay for a breakout. Yeah, had to move it there. Could go 6-10 last and shoot a similar breakout shot that he shot a couple racks previous. Doesn't want the cue ball to be running into the 10 here. I believe it's running to the right of it. Take a decent amount of left spin to get over for the 4. Yeah, the spin made him miss that one. And that's a big miss. And you can see the emotion there from Beno. He knew if he got that one down, he had a chance to win the match, but there's going to be one more chance for Sherbo here. Likely going to be the 5 on a breakout now. Doesn't have to move too far to get the ideal angle off the 5. Doesn't want to be going too far to the right here. He's just okay. Yeah, try to get the cue ball on the rack. I think it's in there. Nice shot. Good recognition from Sherbo there. Knew that he wouldn't be able to get on the 5 properly. And just so happens that the ball in hand position behind the line is going to line up well to where he needs to be on the 5. Smart shot. Good cue ball control as well. Whenever you're playing the cue ball into that rack area, it's obviously risky. If you don't get it right where you want, you could end up hooked on the ball you're playing position for. So just for our viewers at home that are A little newer to straight pool. If the cue ball ends up in the racking area on the last shot, you get ball in hand behind the head string, and in this case, or pardon me, it's in the middle of the head string. Even I was a little bit off on that call, showing my straight pool inexperience, pardon me, but just getting a little guidance from the ref here. Yeah, it is ball in hand behind the line. I thought he was spotting in the middle of the head string. Pardon me again. So he's on a good angle here.
5, side pocket.
Nice shot. 4 balls separated from the rack. Gonna have a couple options here to get more separation. Cue ball onto the 7 now. Could actually go 6-15 if you wanted. I like this play. Attacking the rack from a sideways moving cue balls and not hitting the rail is always a better idea. So big shot here for Sherbo. Big power draw, lots of distance. Only got 1 ball out of the stack there. Is he going to end up on the 1? He is. He still has options to create another breakout here.
Number 1 ball, corner pocket.
Didn't want to catch the point there. He's going to want to have some angle going to the left. He does. But definitely tough on the pocketing here. Decision time for Sherbo. Could actually play safe. He's going at it, and he got the breakout. What a shot. No reward, really. Might have the 4 in the left middle. I think he does, but another missable shot.
Time. Extension.
Pulling within 9 points now. Going to come down to the wire here, and this is a big shot for the overall outcome of the match.
4 ball, side pocket.
Got it. What a recovery from Sherbo, and deserved round of applause there from the knowledgeable Slovenian crowd. Showing respect to the kind of away player. I'm sure they'll be hoping for the hometown Slovenian, but showing good appreciation. If he goes forward, the 14's going to play big as far as position on the 3, but he could shoot the 2 next. Another tester on the pocketing here. Not much to do with the cue ball. He'll be right on the 9. Oh. Maybe just a little high on the speed there. That's a preference hit. But if anything, the speed was what kept that ball out of the pocket. So again, Benko with enough to finish this rack and have 1 more rack at the title. He is to get through these 6 balls. Breakouts are tough. Could consider the 3.
7 ball in or out.
11-3 last.
In.
Time.
Actually tried to move the 11 into a breakout position there. That was a smart shot. Got in a better spot than it was originally. Still not the best. Choices here for Benko now. Didn't want to be stuck on the rail, and it's definitely going to be 3 last now.
Extension.
Extension.
It's called the 7. I'm surprised. Gonna be out of control with the cue ball here. Cue ball's gonna be running into the 3. Just playing so late in the rack. You're gonna have to
Corner pocket.
hope for a good angle on the 3. Or a chance he can develop something onto the 11. Benko really likes to get a good look down the line of the contact point on the object ball. Just helps him with his pocketing information, and this is a good shot. He's got a chance to get properly onto the 11 here. Just come close to the left long rail, get some angle going to the right. Right around where he pointed his tip there. How's the speed on this one? Needs to get up a little bit. And I'll tell you what, the ball's makeable,
Time
but
out.
huge pressure coming here on this possible breakout shot for Benko. Kind of shots you have to be kind of behind the shot to know really how thin it is. It's obvious that it is on the thin side. But he'll have to make a decision here whether he wants to take a gamble at opening up the rack. When Jason Shaw made his high world record run in practice, official practice run, he was taking this angle a lot because this angle really affords a lot of energy into the rack. Not quite as thin as this, but was purposely playing in a way where he knew he was going for a high run and didn't have as much pressure about back cutting a thin ball like this in, and played a lot of breakout shots similar to this. Vogel at the table over on table number 1. Developing breakouts. Look for him to be a real force over the next 6 days. Vogel and Rompinen coming in as the highest Fargos in the under 19 division. But so much great talent from across Europe. Definitely going to have to work hard for their wins, and no guarantees by any means. Vogel just looks like he's practicing out there. Shooting breakout shots, developing the rack nicely.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Please stop the clock.
11 ball.
11 ball, left. corner.
Extension.
I think he's got to go here. Chance to win the match. He's going over and looking at the contact point, so he's going to have a go at this, and the match is going to be riding on this shot. Yeah, Benko really likes to hone in on that contact point angle. Kind of just goes back and forth. Takes a couple peeks over at it. Just got it. Good separation in the rack. Didn't really end up on a lot of balls, but the 14 will be okay. Could shoot the 3 if he wants to stay at this end of the table. Nothing wrong our end first, though. There are enough balls on the table to finish the race in this rack. So you won't have to be too concerned about getting, well, you won't have to be concerned at all about getting a breakout angle and continuing the run. $12 balls remaining, 11 balls needed for the title. Oh no. Distance pocketing just got him a little bit. Had to ramp up the speed a little bit there for the draw to hold. And there's going to be another chance for Chabot now. Rack's looking okay. You can get to 61 after the end of this rack. So if he is able to develop a good breakout, he could finish the match at this inning. Going to be able to rearrange the 3-5 here, which is good because it doesn't look like the 3 pockets in the bottom right. Nice shot. Pressure mounting for both players now. Benko coming off a couple chances where he could have finished the match, so he'll be feeling it his next turn at the table. Chabot looking to not afford him another chance. Fifteen's the strongest breakout ball on the table here. It's going to want to find a way to get at the 5. 2 or the 14 can play okay onto the 5. Let's move to 15 now. I'm going to start taking a look at what other balls are okay for the breakout. The 15's actually still okay. Not in an idealist position as it was before, but still can shoot the 15 last. 8's available on the left side. I want to make sure he comes up high enough above the 3 here. definitely high enough, but he's got some angle going to the left now. Shooting quickly here. Looks like it's going to end up in the rack. Is it just outside the rack to the left? Have a close look here. I think he's in the racking area. Maybe not. These angles are funny sometimes, even though the ball can be slightly outside the racking area. The rack can kind of cover the pocketing angle at times, but I think he should be okay on this one. Oh, it was in the racking area. So, a couple half chances for Benko to get over the line. Wasn't able to take full advantage. Now Chabot with a tough pocketing shot. Gonna try to want to come 2 rails back into the stack. Won't have a lot of energy, but here it comes. He's into it. 1 ball off, and I think he has to go with the 1 here. I think he has to take a chance to win the match. Going to get a lot of separation if he does make the 1. Too thin on the 4 to hold for the 1.
1 ball, corner pocket.
Here comes the match. There it is. Makes 3 balls off the breakout.
3 ball.
More worried about the overall separation. But rare to make 3 balls in 1 shot. That'll help him towards his total. And after Benko coming out with a 40-ball run in his first inning, Chabot's fought back as best he can here. And actually has the lead now.
Time.
Extension.
Extension.
Tricky bridging here. All fouls, of course. Just be careful not to contact the 15 on the way to pocketing the 4. Never mind the 15 with his cue, the 8 and the 14 with his bridge hand. Nice shot. Nine balls to go for Chabot. Look out, he wants to be on the 14 here. He's not. So, gotta make a recovery shot on the 3 now. Balls needed for victory. If he's able to get on the 14 somehow, he can play into the key ball into the 6-15 area.
9 ball.
This
left
is
corner.
not easy.
9.
This is super thin in the corner. What is he even trying here? Oh my goodness. Tried an off-angle combo. Got the ball all the way in the pocket but not down. That's a tough one for Chabot there.
9.
9 ball, corner pocket.
So advantage back to Benko. He's going to need to get through this rack and a couple balls in the next rack. He'll be on 71 at the end of this rack. Still has to develop the 11-10, looks like. Trying to get into it right now. He does. And he's developed a good breakout ball as well with the 11.
Ball. Corner pocket.
A chance here now for Benko to make something happen. Look out, he's on the 10 though. 3's going to play good for the angle and the 11 he wants. Couple options there, really. Could even draw back off the 14. And what a match we've had here. All tied up at 67 now. Benko takes the lead. So he'll need to pocket the 11, which will put him on 72 and open up at least 3 balls from the rack. 11's in an ideal spot. Expect him to get a lot of reaction off the breakout shot.
Extension.
Extension.
Just the slightest bit thick, but he does have angle going to the left. Doesn't need to open a ton of balls from the rack again. Only 3 balls needed for the win here. 4 overall, including the 11.
We have 20, 72. Come on. 72.
This will be a tough one for Sherbo if he doesn't get another chance. Just got a little out of the line midway through that last rack. Quite sure what the holdup is here. Referee might be just double checking the score. Here comes Benko. He's into the rack. He's got some separation. He'll want to be on the 12 here. If not, he'll have to look at the 14. Looks like he does have to take the 14. Missable ball under pressure. Doesn't quite have the full pocket.
14 ball. Corner pocket.
Can totally change plans and shoot the 9 if he wants. Want to avoid that though because of the distance. So pretty much a shot for the title here on the 14. Really don't think he has enough of the 12 to pocket it. Definitely will be taking the 12 if he does, but the way he's looking at this angle, I think he's got to go 14 here. He's got it. There it is. Going to be 12-15 for the win now. Double checking the score. What a match we've had here. Too bad there had to be a loser in this one. Benko coming out with the strong 40 ball run in inning number 1. Stumbled a small couple stumbles on the way to the finish line, but he's going to have the last ball down here. And there it is, under 17 European Youth Straight Pool Champion Max Benko, adding to his list of titles so far in his career. Great match from him. Strong effort from Schrobo. We'll be looking forward to seeing these two players play throughout the week. Congratulations to both players. Sarah Korlifson, we'll talk to you guys soon.